Inventory is the most valuable asset sitting inside most cannabis dispensaries, yet it's also the most poorly managed. I've seen dispensaries generate millions in revenue and still struggle with cash flow because they had too much money tied up in inventory. I've seen operators lose thousands from expired products, inventory discrepancies, theft, and purchasing mistakes. And I've seen businesses receive compliance violations because their physical inventory didn't match what was reported in state tracking systems. I'm Daniel Sabet, CFO at GreenGrowth CPAs, and I've worked with cannabis operators across multiple states, helping them improve profitability, cash flow, and operational efficiency. One thing I've learned is this. Most dispensary owners think inventory is a purchasing problem. In reality, inventory is a cash flow problem. Every product sitting in your shelf is cash that isn't sitting in your bank account. And unlike traditional retail, inventory isn't just an operational issue in cannabis, it's a compliance issue. Mistakes can impact profitability, trigger audits, and create regulatory risk. The dispensaries that scale successfully understand this. They treat inventory as a financial asset, not just a product on the shelf. Let me show you what poor inventory management actually costs. One dispensary owner I work with had approximately $850,000 worth of inventory. The shelves looked full and sales were ready. But when we analyzed the data, nearly 35% of inventory hadn't moved in over 6 months. Hundreds of thousands of dollars were tied up in products customers weren't buying. At the same time, they were constantly running low on their best-selling products. Their buyers were purchasing based on intuition instead of actual sales trends. The result was simple. Too much money invested in slow-moving inventory. Not enough invested in products generating revenue. Inventory management isn't about carrying more inventory. It's about carrying the right inventory. One of the most effective approaches in classifying products by performance, your top-selling products deserve the most attention and purchasing dollars. Mid-level performers should be monitored carefully. Slow-moving products should be evaluated regularly and potentially discontinued. When operators start making purchasing decisions based on data instead of assumptions, cash flow improves almost immediately. The second major inventory challenge is compliance. Most states require inventory tracking through systems such as METRC and other state reporting platforms. That means your physical inventory must match your reported inventory. When those numbers don't match, regulators start asking questions, and discrepancies happen more often than people realize. Products get misplaced, barcodes get scanned incorrectly, items get damaged, data gets entered incorrectly, and small mistakes happen every day. The problem is that small mistakes become big problems when they go unnoticed. I've seen operators spend weeks trying to reconcile inventory because discrepancies were ignored for months. The best dispensaries don't wait until month end or quarter end to perform counts. They conduct cycle counts continuously. They'll do, for example, flower one day, edibles the next, concentrates after that. By counting inventory throughout the week, problems are identified immediately instead of months later. This reduces compliance risk and makes inventory management dramatically easier. The goal isn't simply counting products. The goal is identifying problems before they become expensive. The highest performing dispensaries all have one thing in common. They have systems. They don't rely on memory. They don't rely on one employee who knows where everything is. And they don't wait until problems appear before taking action. They create repeatable inventory procedures. Every shipment follows the same process. Every inventory count follows the same checklist. Every discrepancy is investigated immediately. Technology definitely helps, but technology alone isn't enough. You need accountability, you need reporting, and you need ownership. Here's what to do this week. Run an inventory aging report. Identify products that haven't been sold in the last 90 days, and calculate how much cash is tied up in those products. Review your top-selling SKUs and compare them to your purchasing patterns. Implement a cycle counting process that you don't already have one, if you don't already have one. And most importantly, assign ownership. Inventory problems don't get solved when everyone is responsible. They get solved when one person owns the process. Inventory is not just products sitting on a shelf. Inventory is cash, inventory is compliance, inventory is profitability. The dispensaries that understand that relationship will always have an advantage over the ones that don't. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp.